It is transfer deadline today. There is only one transfer we can start with.
Back from the edge of the area, out to Gordon, right wing cross, into Isak, brilliant header, up high, and powers it beyond David Raya, and Newcastle United lead.
You know, I love it here and love playing in front of this crowd and these fans.
Newcastle United reached total agreement with Liverpool to sell Alexander Isak.
Finds Isak in front of goal, toe pokes it in, brilliant finish from Alexander Isak, improvised so well, a hat-trick for Isak.
As a club, we're always trying to look around where is a player that can improve us, and if we find or we target one, we try to bring him in.
Since Isak scored and was named man of the match on his Newcastle debut, ironically against Liverpool 3 years ago, he's been incredible. 54 Premier League goals, 86 Premier League games.
But the fact of the matter is his behaviour right now is poor.
He sounds like he's a bit of a scoundrel to me.
A bit of a scoundrel. He's an expensive scoundrel, that's for sure. £125 million to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Chris is one of a number of people who's said that, did I just say the Isak meal deal? And Newcastle are now asking for a bag of crisps and a drink as well as the £125 million. Brilliant.
Very good.
I can't remember saying that, but I'll take your word for it, Chris. Isak meal deal. Yeah. So, look, he's expected to undergo a medical today and sign a 6-year contract. Of course, the original offer, £110 million, was rejected in August. All the noise around his transfer is over. Coisty, how important will he be to this Liverpool side? How much will he improve them?
Well, Jeff, you got to say, I think last season, arguably the best out-and-out centre-forward in Europe. Yeah, I think he had the whole package, mate. I think he could run in behind. I think he could hold it up. He could play the front line himself. He probably could play with a partner, though they didn't do that. I also think very, very impressive against the two best centre-backs, I think, consistently in the league. When his performance for Newcastle against Arsenal in both cup semi-finals and the League Cup, I thought he was tremendous. Thought he was absolutely tremendous. So, from that point of view, it's an excellent signing for Liverpool. It really is. They've made some good signings in the window, Liverpool, but I think this could turn out to be their best. I mentioned to you, I've really enjoyed watching Ekitike as well. It looks like he would maybe get moved to a side, probably the left-hand side, you would think. But you better believe it strengthens him. You know, and people are saying, you asked me the question on Nilly Straw yesterday, I don't think they've really... We've not seen the best of Liverpool yet this season, no chance. But the fact of the matter is they're sitting with maximum points and sitting in a great position. I mean, again, I listened to Anna Slot, and he gets it right, Jeff, and just about everything he does so far. I loved his assessment of the game, and I think he was right. He said Arsenal were in top in the first half. He said, the second half there wasn't an awful lot in it. It took a piece of brilliance to win the game. And that was it, effectively. There was nothing between the sides. He knows that. But he believes, and rightly so, that he's got players in his team that in games like that can produce a little bit of magic that will get you over the line. But Isak will be another one that can certainly help them do that. If you asked me where I thought they probably needed strengthening more, I actually thought more centre-back than centre-forward, to tell you the truth, just slightly. But, listen, mate, it'll be a tremendous signing for them. And it looks as though Mark Gay's not going to go there now. So in that position at centre-back, if they get an injury, that would be a concern. But, boy, they've had an incredible window.
Yeah, Chiesa was the option on the bench yesterday. Yeah. They're going to have more options on the bench for sure after this move. What about the way, Coisty, as an ex-player, what about the way that Isak has gone about forcing through this move? I mean, that opens the door for everybody to do the same thing, doesn't it?
Of course it does, mate. I mean, I've made my views on it crystal clear. I think it's been really poor. I just don't think he's handled it in any way, shape or form like you should, to be honest with you, Jeff. It's one thing wanting a move, and by the way, I know where he's coming from. We'd all probably want to move to Liverpool. I get it. but you can't go about it the way he's done it, Jeff. It's just wrong in so many counts. It sends completely the wrong message out to the supporters, to youngsters coming into the game. I don't care what MD says, mate. I think he's completely, as has Visa, as well, Jeff, with the way he's going about it. And then you flip the coin and you look at the two boys at Palace who appreciated the signing the contract. They appreciated that, at that moment in time, they were happy at the contract, for whether the contract's 3 years. As soon as you put pen to paper, you should, at the very least, expect and accept that you're going to be at that club or that place for the length of that contract. Now, there are other ways to go about it. You can sit down with Eddie Howe and say, Eddie, I've got an opportunity to go to Liverpool here. I want to go. Where are we placed here? How are we placed? And Eddie says, no, I don't want you to go. You need to stay for a year. You need to see your contract, whatever it may be. But I just think it's been he's handled it really, really poor. And I'd ask you the question, Jeff, if he has 2 great years and he signed a 5-year contract and Real Madrid come in for him, he could probably do the exact same thing, mate.
Yeah. Let's just get a very quick thought on this from Carl, who's a Liverpool fan. Morning, Carl.
Good morning, Carl.
Morning, you okay?
Yeah, so you're pleased to have Isak on board?
Yeah, very much. He's a good addition, like you say yesterday. Only really Chiesa as a senior option off the bench in terms of attacking, so it's a long season. There's going to be injuries, so I think we definitely need that backup. Obviously, the price tag could be a risk, but he is Premier League proven at least. So I think he'll do well.
Yeah. How does he fit in with Ekatike?
That's the thing. He's looked great since he's come in. Yeah. So hopefully he can fit in around him. I'm not sure how. Maybe he moves to the left, because I wouldn't want him to get pushed out because he's had a great start.
Yeah.
But obviously he's not had a pre-season, so he's not going to be coming straight into the team anyway, is he? For a little while until he gets his fitness up, because obviously he's not had a start of the season. He's not really had a pre-season, so obviously there's going to be a bit of time for him to settle in, get back up to fitness. So,
yeah. Carl, what about the centre-back position, mate? What about the centre-back position for you? I thought Kanate played well yesterday, obviously, and I thought it was a strong. But
he struggled for the start of the season, but he did much better. The defence looked miles better yesterday.
Yep, agreed.
Really did. But I think Joe Gomez come on and he looked brilliant. He was colossal, really. He was getting to everything, blocking everything. So I think if Joe Gomez stays fit, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Obviously now Gay doesn't look like he's coming, but obviously fitness-wise, he has struggled with injuries. So that's the same again. It's just a bit of a risk.
Carl, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Carl.
Brilliant. Thank you.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.